The Lost Wallet, a comedy of errors. Once upon a weekday morning in a small European town, Thomas, an absent-minded but charming young man, was running late for work. In true dramatic fashion, he grabbed his coffee, missed his bus, and spilled half his latte on a passing cyclist, who, quite unforgivingly, shouted, "Watch it, Picasso!" In his hurry, Thomas didn't realize he had dropped his wallet. Cue the entry of Greta, a retired opera singer with a love for mystery novels and street surveillance, aka people watching from her balcony. She spotted the wallet on the sidewalk and, convinced it was part of an international spy plot, she had just reread The Bourne Identity, decided to return it personally. Meanwhile, Thomas was retracing his steps like a lost puppy, asking strangers if they'd seen a leather wallet with a tragic amount of expired coupons. His best lead? A man who offered him a half-eaten sandwich and a wink. Back at Greta's place, she had already Googled Thomas, found his LinkedIn, and was impressed by his 87 endorsements for teamwork. She set out to find him, dressed in full operatic costume for flair, because why not? When they finally met, Thomas was baffled, Greta was triumphant, and a street performer mistook them for actors in a flash mob. Applause erupted. Someone threw coins. Thomas bowed out of confusion. Moral of the story? Never underestimate a retired opera singer. Expired coupons can still open doors, and sometimes losing your wallet is the best way to meet unforgettable characters. Bonus lesson: always secure your wallet, unless you're in the mood for an accidental European adventure. The Great Laundry Mix-Up, or Why My Shirt Smells Like Cinnamon. Clara, a university student living in Amsterdam, was having a decent week. Her essays were almost on time, her plants weren't dead, yet, and she finally remembered to do laundry after 3 weeks of living off backup socks. The problem? She lived in a shared building with one communal laundry room and 20 other forgetful people. The law of the land was simple. You leave your clothes in the machine too long, they become fair game. Clara timed it perfectly, washed, walked back after 45 minutes, and her clothes were gone. Panic, betrayal, mild detergent-induced despair. She scanned the room. On a nearby table, folded suspiciously well, sat a pile of clothes she didn't recognize. But nestled on top was her avocado-printed pajama pants. Next to the pile was a note. "Hey, I thought these were mine, but your avocado pants gave it away. Hope I got everything back in the right place. Also, sorry if your hoodie now smells like cinnamon. I use special softener." Leo. She had no idea who Leo was, but she now owned the fluffiest hoodie she'd ever touched, which smelled like a Christmas market. In return, one of her socks was missing, and replaced with one that had a flamingo on it. 2 days later, they bumped into each other in the elevator, both wearing each other's socks. They laughed, swapped laundry tips, and ended up doing their washing together every Sunday since. Lesson of the story? Sometimes, laundry mishaps lead to friendship, or at least to cinnamon-scented hoodies and socks with personality. So never underestimate the power of fresh fabric softener and a handwritten note. The Wi-Fi War, a neighborly battle for internet supremacy. Luca, a remote software developer in Milan, had one sacred morning ritual: coffee, croissant, and checking memes before pretending to code. But one fateful Thursday, disaster struck. No Wi-Fi. He stared at his router, blinking like a broken disco ball. He tried turning it off and on again. He whispered kind words to it. He even played Mozart. Nothing. Desperate, Luca opened his laptop to search for nearby networks. To his horror, someone had renamed their Wi-Fi to Winner Takes Allery and locked it with military-grade encryption. His own network? Gone. Vanished. Murdered in cold signal. He suspected his upstairs neighbor, Mr. Alberto, a retired chess champion with a suspicious number of antennas on his balcony. The man once streamed a 4K opera concert on his smartwatch. The next day, Luca renamed a portable hotspot to Your Move_Grandpa. Alberto responded with Checkmate_Sucker. It escalated quickly. Luca hid a Wi-Fi extender inside a fake potted plant in the hallway. Alberto installed a signal jammer disguised as a garden gnome. One evening, the entire building's internet went down during a very important baking live stream. An emergency meeting was called in the hallway by a woman in curlers wielding a spatula like a weapon. Realizing they had gone too far, Luca and Alberto made peace. They created a shared network named Truce Zone_5 GHz and split the bill. Now they exchange memes and espresso. Lesson of the story? In the modern world, war may not be fought with swords, but with routers, signal extenders, and petty Wi-Fi names.
So pick your battles wisely and never underestimate an old man with fiber optics.
The Great Grocery Store Escape, featuring one rogue cucumber. It was supposed to be a normal Tuesday. You know, the kind of Tuesday where you pretend to be productive but mostly just reorganize your sock drawer and stare into your fridge like it's going to offer life advice. Sophie, a young architect from Berlin, finally decided to go buy groceries after realizing dinner couldn't be made from soy sauce, 3 pickles, and hope. So she put on her comfiest sweater, grabbed her tote bag, and set off for the supermarket down the street. She had one mission: buy healthy food and absolutely not get distracted. That lasted about 4 minutes. By aisle 2, she had a jar of marshmallow fluff, imported mustard from Dijon, and a novelty-shaped pasta shaped like little bicycles. No vegetables in sight. Then it happened. While trying to grab a bag of kale to feel responsible, she accidentally knocked over a mountain of cucumbers. Not 1, not 5, all of them. One particularly athletic cucumber rolled away at Olympic speed, straight into the legs of a very confused man holding 17 yogurts. He slipped, the yogurts flew like dairy grenades, and Sophie stood frozen in shame and horror, then laughed. A lot. The man, fortunately, also laughed. They ended up talking. Turned out he was a ballet dancer named Emile who had recently sprained his ankle. Not from ballet, but from chasing a pigeon in flip-flops. Classic Emile. They both left the store with fewer groceries than planned, a shared story, and a coffee date scheduled for Thursday. Moral of the story? Sometimes you don't need to chase love. It's rolling straight at you in the form of a cucumber. So go to the store, embrace the chaos, and for the love of dairy, never underestimate a slippery vegetable. The mystery of the missing sandwich. It all started on a perfectly normal Tuesday morning. David, a young graphic designer from Amsterdam, woke up with a mission: to eat the delicious ham and cheese sandwich he had prepared the night before. It was his masterpiece: artisan bread, smoked ham, Swiss cheese, a bit of mustard, and exactly 3 slices of pickles. He even left a note in the fridge: "Do not eat. This means war."
But as he opened the fridge, horror struck. The sandwich was gone, vanished, stolen. David interrogated every member of the household. His flatmate Lena claimed she was vegan, though suspiciously avoided eye contact. Their cat Gustav seemed guilty, and their elderly neighbor Mr. Vogel had left breadcrumbs on the stairs. The clues were everywhere. And yet, nowhere. He set up a mini investigation using sticky notes, red string, and a suspiciously professional crime board. He even interviewed Gustav the cat, who responded by knocking over a water glass. After a full day of dramatic detective work, including a high-speed bike chase through the park and an emotional monologue in front of the bakery where the bread was born, David discovered the shocking truth. He had eaten the sandwich himself at midnight, while half asleep, and had left a thank you note to himself that he completely forgot about. Great sandwich, 10 out of 10, love me. The final shot is David sitting on the kitchen floor, holding an empty plate and laughing hysterically. Moral of the story: always label your food. And maybe don't trust your midnight self with anything important.